that love don't feel good. You know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Like, if this love, I don't want this shit.
These kind of relationships make you disturbed when we don't take the time to know what it is to sing, to know how to get close to the mic again, or to get something. Singing doesn't make it happen, or maybe.
Welcome.
Back, man.
You gotta get someone that
Wow. I love it.
We got a special guest.
Yeah, we do.
All right, let's be serious.
Yeah, we do.
A sister friend, a
Yeah.
beautiful human being.
Yeah, it's part of the crew.
Kanishiwa.
Yep.
Don't have people calling me that.
I'm sorry.
I hate that.
Kenny Ford.
Kenny Ford.
Thank you.
How you doing, love?
I am great.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for agreeing. She gonna
I'm
be,
too goofy
she
for
gonna
that.
be all teeth, the whole joint, yo. The whole joint.
I hate being on camera. This sucks.
Oh, man.
She ain't laughed this hard since you did this. And then she just bust out laughing.
I hate being on camera. That's all I can do is a defense mechanism. Leave me alone.
So how many excuses did you go through in your head till you finally just said you just gonna come and visit?
Oh, here?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, maybe I could just say, I didn't want to speak COVID on myself, but I was going to say I was exposed to COVID. My clients, that was going to be the first one. I was like, ooh, I don't want to wish that on myself. I don't want to manifest that. And then I was just like, I was going to use the hangover thing, but I was like, he knows I function with the hangover. I go to work. Yeah, and I was just like, you know what, let's just do it. It's my brother.
Thank you.
And that was all today.
No, this has started. I've been trying to make excuses all week.
Yeah, she has.
Like,
That's funny.
couldn't do it. And when he asked me if we still good, how long it took me to respond.
It took her like an hour and a half. I was like, oh shit, she about to abducted by alien. My phone cut off because when I asked her, she was like, am I gonna be depressed? I was like,
I don't want to talk about. I don't want light shit right now.
So
I'm sorry, can we curse?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I was like, I don't feel like talking about no heavy stuff.
So she just made a tell. Oh, we can cuss.
Yeah.
She ain't watched a second.
Not one episode.
Not one.
I've watched
not one second. It's cool. Like if you asking if you could cuss.
I watched a couple episodes, but I will say, like sometimes, you know, they get a little heavy. I get awkward. You know, I feel awkward sometimes.
You cut it off?
Yeah, you know, I have secondhand embarrassment really bad.
That's
So we be saying stuff that be embarrassing.
Yeah.
It's not embarrassing, but I'm an empath. I take on emotions when you talk, and it just makes me uncomfortable. And I don't, especially like this is my brother from another brother. I know we have conversations, but I don't like, you know, to see people I care about, you know, talk about heavy things.
Yeah.
Even though we do have heavy conversations, it's just like, ooh.
Being in it
let me
and
go see the
observing it is
video.
different, right?
Yeah.
So
That's all.
in an effort of keeping it light,
Okay.
one of the things I remember us connecting on immediately was music when we first met. I met her, she used to date a dude who I used to work with. I ain't talked to this motherfucker in 10 years, but me and her stayed cool.
Yeah.
Had a falling out one time. Shout out to Diego. Cause dude, Diego invited me. Was that a Roots concert?
I can't remember.
It was a concert that she was, anyway, long story. It was music.
Yes.
And I feel like we at a point right now in terms of music that we should talk about. And that is the Kendrick joint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Well, first,
right.
let's
But that's not light. Kendrick's album is heavy. But
let's
we gonna
tap
do
into
it.
her a little bit. Like, you know, what do you?
She don't want us to.
You don't want to get into.
No, we can do it. Just keep it light.
'Cause I think we connected on, you know, DJing and seeing it through him.
Because I want to be a DJ in my head. That's why I send
You
y'all
said that
playlists.
before. Yeah.
Y'all listen to my playlist?
I do.
Yeah, that Blue Eye joint,
Yeah.
Blue Eye Joy is killer. I
it's off the
did that.
chain. I played that for a long time.
Follow me on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Oh, speaking to that point, you are the reason why we started creating in the beginning. We were doing Spotify playlists for
Yeah.
each of our episodes because we were
that,
talking
yeah.
about music. What music were we listening to?
Yeah.
That fell off after like 9 episodes.
It's a lot.
because it's a
playlists.
lot of work.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
But to your point, Life, go ahead, bro. My bad.
Yeah. So what do you do? What do you?
I do
Who
dope
is
shit.
Kenny?
No, I am a hairstylist. That's what I do. I just love it.
Yeah.
It's nothing romantic about it. You know, everybody asks me, how did you get into doing hair? How'd you love it so much? Honestly, I was going to be a ballet dancer. And when my mom first started taking me to the hairstylist, shout out to Kim, she was cool. It was kind of a little mom and pop, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I started going uptown when I lived with my dad, going to this hairstylist uptown.
Uptown where? You from DC?
On Kennedy Street. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I remember like, oh, they make dope dealer money, and that's why I want to do hair. And I was like, oh, my shout out to Teresa. She's still doing hair. She walked in. I saw her coming in. She had a white Benz, I think, and she had a fur coat. And I was like, oh, they got their own money. Because I remember always thinking when I saw her fly, like, oh, he must have bought that for her, one of her little boyfriends. But I was like, oh no, she's doing that herself.
She working.
I want to do a hairstyle. I'm gonna do hair. And
So
that's it.
when you said a dancer, what kind of dancing? Like ballet?
Did ballet from 10 to 17.
Wow.
Yeah. No, a little before 10, like 5, I started dancing, but started being properly trained around 10. Ballet, modern, yeah.
In DC? I mean, where you?
Went to School of the Arts, Duke Ellington, didn't
did you?
finish. That's a whole nother story. We said we're gonna keep it light. Shout out to the people who know my past. Your girl doing good.
Duke Ellington School of the Arts in DC.
Huh?
Duke Ellington School of the Arts in DC.
And yeah.
Dave Chappelle went there.
Yes.
Roger Henson went there.
She from here?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I
I
don't
thought
know.
she was from Oxon Hill, though. I think she's from Oxon Hill or something.
So you from DC? Okay.
DC proper. Yep. 7th and Hamilton Street.
So why'd you stop dancing?
I told you they ain't make no money.
You could have went to the
Juilliard.
dancing.
Right. You could have went into the.
No, there were no Misty Copelands back then.
Listen, you see how different this just happened?
Yeah.
I was like, Juilliard. He said
I probably would have been. I wouldn't have been above doing that though. But I couldn't make.
She
it
said
what they
money.
did.
Ain't no money in
Yeah.
Juilliard.
Yeah.
Shit, it's money at the penthouse.
I found another way. I just was like, okay, I can do this hair thing.
Wow.
And I started, and I was like, I'm gonna go to hair school. And then when I went to hair school, I was like, I wasn't as woke back then. So I ain't gonna lie, I was like, ooh, do I wanna make nigga money? And that's what I thought. Cause I was just like, when I went to the salon, I just felt like I was always just like trying to negotiate my prices and everything. And I was just like, yeah, so I went back and did hair school all over again in a general market salon, like, you know, whites, I guess, to learn like white hair color and everything. And went out after that, I went into like working with Christophe, Philippe, and all these, you know, white people. And then about 10 years ago, about 2009, I came back home and I was like, oh no, my people great. We make money too. And,
Right.
And now it's weird because now I have a salon. And when I was consulting with someone about the salon and I told them all the ideas and they were like, you don't want to make it too black because you don't want to stop your growth, your potential. And I was like, no, I want to make it real black. I came back to my people for a reason, and when you walk in my salon, it's black as fuck.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
So what? So did you notice a difference between, like, just the business aspect between black clients and white clients?
Yeah, I mean, there is a difference. There's cultural differences, but I think now, you know, when I first came back, but I think now, you know, I feel like black people, we're changing our relationships with money. We are understanding that we do deserve nice things. Everything doesn't have to be cheap and everything. So now, like, before, like, nah, my clients, they pay the price. And, I can charge them and they're not, trying to say, hey, sis, why are you charging me this, And it was in 2009, I'll never forget, a client who did follow me, she was like, you still charging Georgetown prices, but you ain't in Georgetown. And I'm like, bitch, you still getting Georgetown hair.
I don't know what that has to do with.
Yeah.
Because I think to what you just said, it's like,
yeah, they were fine paying that money when it was it was going to a white man, but when it was all coming in my pocket, it became
like white ice is cold.
Yeah, but now, like, I think we all just are realizing that we want and we deserve more. And so my clients, they don't blink. I definitely attract a certain type of clientele, and when they come in, they already know, kind of understand, like, okay, this is this type of salon, this is what I'm going to pay, and they don't blink, and they're okay with it. We have great time, we have a great relationship, and that's that.
Yeah, but I talking to a buddy of mine who owns a barbershop, and we had a conversation about just that, like the differences, but he said that if you go to poor white areas, it's the same. Like, they don't want to pay the full price. They try to figure out a way to get around and all of that.
Yeah.
But, if you go to a certain demographic of black people, they understand good service.
And I had to
understand the value
that too.
of that. Right.
I had to understand that too, because I even went out to Crofton for a quick minute to work out there, and they were still penny pinching out there. And it was
So it's
just
not,
like,
I don't know if it's the white black thing, it's really an economic thing.
Yeah, an economic thing,
Right.
yeah.
So let me ask you a question. As two men who suffer from toxic masculinity, I'm adding you in there because I don't want to be by myself.
Okay.
We don't know a motherfucking thing about hair. I know you're dope because I know you. And I know the people you've done hair for, and you've done stuff for like awards and all of that. In your field, what makes you dope? Like, how is that measured in what you do?
Oh, that's a tricky question, because sometimes I still don't understand. I just try to keep learning with myself. Like, as much as I'll tell anyone, I have enough education. If there was a doctorate in hair, I have it. Like, like last year, not last year, but before COVID 2019, I did a October to April, a program where I got certified as a master colorist. It was like college. I had a real professor. I had to learn the science, the breakdown of the hair between Asian, black hair. Those are things that make me a better colorist, know. But it's tricky with hair, because what I may say is dope to my demographic may be dope, because we have this conversation all the time in the salon, when clients are looking for a stylist, I tell them no shade either. Look at their aesthetic too. Check them out, because if you see they are, they like certain things a certain way, who am I to say whether it's classy or trashy or whatever, whatever. But if they're into like very super trendy, if they're the club girl, that typical girl, that's what you're gonna get, And
how much
that's
you
a
think
part of it.
How much you think is creative as opposed to, I guess, the science of it? Of doing hair.
I think, shoot, especially now.
It seems like an art, especially with...
especially now, I think the creativity trumps the science. I think that's what makes me, though, I don't want to say better than a lot of people, but that is an added value to mine, because I always tell my clients all the time science. So like I'm very big on educating them, like I'll tell them, okay, such and such, like I have to tell them all the time when they be like this. I'm like, yeah, because you keep greasing your scalp. Like, that's an old wives' tale. We don't have to do that. Wash your damn hair. Wash your hair once a week in your conditioners. You don't need to be packing your hair down. You grease a pig, you're like, because they always ask me, can you grease my scalp? Sometimes when they do, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
So now you got me somewhere else.
That's not like black people.
I'm sorry in advance to all the sisters This is some shit I ain't never got. Why is it acceptable for a woman to wash her motherfucking scalp once a week when every other part of your body being washed daily?
Because, well, once a week, I mean, you shouldn't be washing your hair once every day.
You should wash, okay, so women.
You should not be washing your hair every day.
Why not?
Because first of all, now it used to be a thing that they would tell, you know, Caucasian people to do that, but now they're even understanding like that's not a good thing, you know, because it strips your hair of the natural oils after a while. You want to have a good balance. Even though water is your best type of moisture, but you can get moisture fatigue.
So if I had my arm and I didn't wash that motherfucker for 30 days, people were gonna be looking at me saying, you wildin'. Why is up here acceptable though? Is what
No, you should not be washing your hair only every 30 days. You should be washing your hair at least once a week. There are some people, if you notice, even though I am like, my skin is super dry because I love showering. But there are still people now, you're seeing all these people coming out, it's these big debates about how many times you should shower. That is a big thing now. And then some doctors are saying you still shouldn't, but that's just what we've been told, especially black
shower,
people.
how often so how often do you shower?
I shower
once a week?
I shower
once
if
a month?
I can, sometimes twice a day. If I can, 3 times. If I wake up from a nap, I'll get back up, you know, from feeling hot. Yep. But me, I need a shower to wake up too.
Okay.
Yeah,
I need a shower to wake up and I need a shower to go to sleep. It's almost like, you know, it's not even about being clean to me. Right. It's about, you know, just how I come down and how I wake up is really weird.
Yeah.
But there are stuff, but it's like too, you know, if I go all day, I'm not stinking.
So you wash your hair every day?
You shouldn't.
Bro, really? I wash my hair every day?
I mean, you know, when
I take a shower, I wash my scalp.
No,
Really?
but when you had hair,
That's
you wash
nice.
it every day?
You saying hair, bro, like I had extensions or some
He don't
shit.
have hair.
What do you mean?
I had waves. Did
you wash it every day?
Yeah.
Waves.
What?
When'd you have?
Oh, this was in the 90s.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, wait a minute.
This was a long time ago. Yeah, bro.
Every day?
Yeah. No, because I didn't take a shower every
How you
day.
getting your waves in? Because you need the waves, and you need a good day for the waves to set. That serves a lot.
But hold on, time out. I wasn't washing every day.
You weren't.
Oh, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, you right, dog. Because I would make sure that my hair didn't get wet sometimes.
No. I would always, because just for, you know, factual, I was top 5 waves in DC.
I can see that.
Top 5 on this block.
From about 93
Nah,
to about
I can tell by the little
97.
loop-de-loops in his curls,
You
his
know what I'm saying? I
coils,
was
that
top 5
he was
waves.
probably
I didn't wash my hair every day, but I made sure it got wet every day. I
You
rinsed
gotta
it
run-
out.
you gotta-
Exactly.
So what'd you put, like a pink oil moisturizer on your joint?
What did I use? I ain't
No,
use
you gotta
pink
put a
oil.
heavy, like a pomade to get it to lay down.
Sporting
I
waves?
started with the orange can, the Murray's, because that's my
Yeah.
brother.
That's
did.
Murray.
Shout out to my brother that taught me about the Murray's. And then I went to something lighter, the
Dax?
Nah, the not even that heavy. What's the Carol's Daughters?
Okay.
They had like a joint that was a little thick.
Okay.
It wasn't quite a pomade, but it was
Okay.
like a little thicker, and that.
Okay.
But that was in the 2000s. But
Okay.
I didn't wash my hair every day. I still don't. I mean, I've rinsed it. I make sure I rinse it and get it wet.
I do
But don't
think you
wash
should be washing your hair once a week. And there now people are trying to. Here's the thing: science is always changing. And the thing about it, what I try to tell people is like when they're saying, well, this worked and everything. Okay, well, some things work. You know, if it still work for you, fine. But we're getting technology so we can make things better and easier for
Right.
listen to it.
Right. Well, let me ask you this.
Listen to it.
Let me ask you this. So, do you ever like deal with? Because I know growing up, as we became more woke, as you said, we start to look at black people started to look at hair differently. Women's hair, black women's hair, especially.
Yeah.
And the perming and the not perming and the color and all of that. Did you ever have a time when you were like, you know, had to deal with that kind of thing as you?
It's weird because like now over the past year since I opened back up after COVID, you know, people are coming to me and they're saying that I'm a natural stylist, and I kind of, you know, I'm not fighting it anymore, but I was fighting that.
Were
So I'm
you a
like,
natural stylist or you want a natural style?
No, they were saying that I was a natural stylist, so I specialize in natural hair. And I'm like, no, I'm old school. I just know how to do hair.
Right.
I appreciate. I don't take hair for granted. I want to know. I know all types of hair. You know, Caucasian, black. It can be kinky, coily, or or bone straight. I just understand hair.
Right.
So I really thought that I didn't want to be considered a natural stylist because I just feel like I embrace that black women are embracing their texture.
Right.
Their texture, I love that. But also, I don't believe in shaming women who aren't ready to do that either.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we still have to get a bill passed to let us go to work in our most natural state. And we people still can't do that. Yeah. We still even like with us when our girls who are being so-called natural, they expose themselves, because they come to me and they want me to manipulate their hair, their curls and stuff to look a more, defined curl. It's like, listen, don't come at me with all righteous unless you're wearing your Frederick Douglass Escarole and being proud.
So what does natural mean? Just no chemicals?
Yes. No chemicals.
It's almost like organic.
But if you got like, and again, dog, this ain't definitely. I don't want to, because I'm not toxically masculine. But there's a difference between your natural, and then when you add stuff to it to make it a little kind of crinkly and kind of look.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not. I mean,
it's still manipulating your curl pattern.
Right. Yeah.
And now tell them I love one of my biggest satisfactories is when I have that girl with kinky hair, or they say 4C. I don't even like those labels too much, but I have to buy them.
Force feed?
4C. So 4C. It's like the curl pattern. That's what they call it. So 4C is supposed to be the kinkiest, the spongiest, the tightest, where the hair is like this. You like this, but when you pull it out, it's that long.
No, the number 4 and the letter C?
Yes.
They're numbers, right?
Yeah. To me, it's just another way to kind of make us realize that, someone's better than, but I do love when I have that girl with, 4C or kinky hair, and I say, hey, let me just embrace your texture, because they always want a twist out. Mm-hmm. They always want to stretch it and make it look longer and everything. And like, what can I do to stretch it? I'm like, it's really not much I can do, because even with, if I stretch it a little bit, once the moisture gets to it, it's going to shrink up again. But when, and I'll tell them like, okay, let's not do a twist out. Let me just show you some techniques to embrace your own natural curl pattern or coil pattern. But, we can make it a little bit more defined. And I love when they're like, oh, I didn't know my hair could do this. It's like, you're not getting this loop. It's usually like a Z pattern, kinky hair. Right. But it's still beautiful. And this way we could define that too. So it looks like almost like cute little locks of accordion spun, and I love it. It's my favorite type of hair to work with. But I love when they are like, oh wow, I didn't know I could do that,
Dope.
Yeah.
Shout out to you for making it through COVID. I know when you opened up your shop, COVID hit, they shut down right after you, and that was just, and the fact that you made it through, salute to you for that.
I have awesome clients. My clients were sending me money. Yeah.
Wow.
And my jump off, shout out to that jump off. What, you told me to be raw? Y'all know, listen.
Nigga, we can't be raw, we can't be all the way raw. That's like saying, are you gonna let me hit it without a condom and don't just put the head in?
Right.
Nah, we gotta go all the way.
I got through COVID because my clients helped me and I had help.
God damn.
Listen.
Gotta love Kenny.
It was just what it was, but my clients, I had to even tell my clients after a while, my clients are so generous, they were just like, I had to tell them like, I'm okay, stop sending me money. But I would just I would let them know, do you mind if I send it to another stylist? I would send it to some of my colleagues, Yeah. But yeah, they looked out for me.
Were you still working? I mean, were you still taking in? You were just completely shut down?
Yeah. I didn't want to play around with that because I didn't know what it was. And I just knew that whatever happened in March, I was sick, and I was like sick for a month, and I had chills like for a whole month.
After just doing all of that?
Yeah.
So, you got women in your chair for hours, and it'd be a bunch of y'all. How long you been doing hair?
27 years.
Golly.
Okay. So, you got a lot of male friends who you cool with, like platonic. Ain't no fucking around or bullshit like that. What is going on in these chairs and in these women's heads about relationships with like dudes? Is there something that dudes are missing?
Ooh, here we go.
No,
you ready for this? What I have been telling my friends and what I'm noticing with the women in my chair, we are not scared. Being alone, that thing where it was like, oh, you're gonna be a cat lady, used to scare. We don't give a fuck about that. It doesn't scare us like it used to be. It's not the boogeyman being alone, like. And I think, also we're choosing peace.
okay.
Relationships are a lot of work.
Yeah.
And the way, and I don't want to generalize, I hate to generalize, but what I'm seeing in my chair is that, my girls, and like I said, it could just be my demographic. I do, you attract your own kind sometimes. I attract very ambitious women. I have, most of my clients are judges. I got a crap load of lawyers, entrepreneurs and everything. Yeah. Like, we just don't have time for the emotional things that come along with relationships. We are like trying to get it. Like the way we talk about relationships, but we talk about getting money more. So like we talk about ideas. Like it's not it's such a shift. Back in the days where it was the salon with China, girl, he ain't shit and this and that and everything. It's like, girl, yeah, whatever. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is, so what's your next move? Yeah, my next move, this and that. And then we text each other. Yeah, like everyone who knows me knows my I call her my muse, Lula. She's all over my page. Like me and her, we always talking about her next moves. And I've seen this girl go from Boone's Island to Deloitte to this and that to getting in Capital One to saying she want to be in marketing capital. Everything she says she want to do, she kills it, she does it. My clients are like that. I got clients who are partners at Deloitte. They made partners. I got clients, who are, that's what we're talking about. We talk about relationships for a little bit, but ain't nobody got time to be, I think we're to the point where we're getting ourselves together, we're going to therapy, and we're like, listen, either you're getting on board and you're getting yourself together, or you're gonna bring peace to my life, or we just like, we ain't got time for it. And it's, you're saying all these things now that we're being accused of, like, breaking down the Black family structure because we're too independent. It's like, listen, why do we gotta suffer to keep the Black family structure together? Like, how about everybody? Not just, everybody get themselves together and take a step back and say, what can we do or whatever. And it's like, yeah, we just choosing not to stay in this place where we just crying over men. Like they'll say it, like my clients, I have clients who are going through divorces. It's just so different now. And I'm like, I tell the guys like, yo, we are not tripping like we used to. We are not in the salon. Like, I just remember when I would be like feeling awkward or we're crying together. It's just not that. It's just like, yeah, I made a decision. I'm moving on, sis. Yeah. And it's quick too.
Do you think there's an overcorrection that took place as it relates to that? Do you understand what I mean by that?
Like, what do you mean by overcorrection? Like, we just kind of like, explain that a little bit more to me. Make sure.
Obviously, women felt that they were in a position that wasn't putting them, that wasn't
the best for them.
The best for them, thank you. Started getting education, started getting money, becoming less and less dependent financially on men.
Yeah. I think what I think is, in like one of my girlfriends, she's in academia. She has a doctorate and everything, and money is not an issue. So she don't even need. She's the opposite of me, because I'm like, you got to match my fly. She like, I got it. He ain't even got to match. I just need him to be able to have a conversation, you know. And what I am finding out too, even with guys who do have it too, sometimes that's all they have to bring to the table is just money too. Like it's just a weird thing. Like I don't know why, you know, it's not registering sometimes when I do tell my guys that they're battling me a lot. They're like, oh, you know, this and that. Like, it's not that we don't care, but it's just like we are not scared of being alone. The threat of being alone does not bother us. And I make the biggest point, like, when you see these little sweet little YouTube, Mary Agatha, she turned 100 years old. What's the secret? Good wine and no man. They all be like the centurions. They all are always by themselves, and they're like okay with it. And this is like now, and we are finding so many other ways. We have so many more means before, where it was when you were alone, you had to stay in the house, you had to struggle, this and that. No, we're traveling. Like my mom is single. But like she came and got her wig so she can go to a golf tournament. These ladies, 67, they traveling. They with the shits.
Yeah, I think that as sort of, you know, our generation, you know, we came up a lot more educated than the generation before us. So we started to, and then with that came a lot more world savvy, that you see the world. Right, exactly. So it's not like you're not focused on this.
We don't have grandma's goals.
Right, exactly. You see the world and you kind of figure out that the world is bigger than just this misery. You don't want to be. You don't want to be miserable.
I think it's just that, you know, we don't have, like, I think women are still willing to put in the work.
Right.
But it's not at the expense of us anymore. Whereas before, like years ago, you'll see women like, you know, I see it. The first thing that goes when you're stressed out is your hair. And I can tell it, like, girl, you got a big old plug right here. What's going on? Yeah. What are you going through? Wow. Or your edges, what are you going through? You know, like, and you see it, you know, especially as a hairstylist. That's the first defense. Like, have you been to the doctor? You need to go get your levels checked and everything, you know, like something's going on here. Your hair is telling you, your hair will tell you that and we're just not willing to, you know, sacrifice ourselves. It may be selfish. It's okay.
So do you think that is in response to the way the men have been acting? So
I don't know if it's in response to, that's the thing. I think sometimes people think that it's really not even in response. It's just that we ain't thinking about y'all. You get what I'm saying? Like
But how's that possible if you married or got kids or in a relationship? How can a woman say they're not thinking about a dude?
Because after a while you try, but it's like, it's okay. Like, I think women are finally saying it's okay to choose me. We have been guilty, you know, we have been made to feel guilty for choosing ourselves for years, you know. You a bad mom if you work too much, you know. Just like that Atlanta show, you know, when the mother didn't know everything about this stuff, you know. It's showing how things are now. Like, it's just like, yeah, we're okay. There are more stay-at-home dads now and all that stuff. It's like, we are okay with choosing us. We don't care what no one says anymore. You know, we're not the only ones that's going to be in the pickup line and everything. I have, you know, clients, especially now, I have so many clients now who have nannies. I'm like, go ahead, good for you. That wasn't a black thing.
Yeah.
Before us hiring nannies, we hiring nannies. They in all, you know, what they call them, the all-pair programs. They going through, they talking to them, they flying them in from Colombia, Nigeria. Like, these are my clients. They are like, listen, I gotta get it. We're not waiting on the man anymore to build legacy and have, you know, generational wealth. We're doing it ourselves. So sometimes, you know,
so is that
things may fall short.
Is that what you hear the objective being?
Yeah.
It's like monetary things.
It's not just about money in the sense of just to say, oh, hey, but it's just about you just want to be okay. Make sure your kids are okay. You know, we want to close that gap. We want to close that gap, you know, like I just had a client the other day, you know, she's sitting in there with my other client complaining how they were overbid. One client was overbid $1 million on a 4-unit apartment that she tried. Like, these are the conversations. We talk about men a little bit, but those are the conversations. And I say it could be just my demographic. Right. You know, I have a very ambitious, you know, clientele.
Because what I'm curious about, because, you know, dudes talk about dudes, when dudes talk to each other, they talk a certain way. When women talk to women, they talk a certain way. Like when you're clicked up in your bubble, there's a certain way that you look at it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that me as a man being concerned about is like the family moving forward. Not to say that's each individual woman's responsibility in your chair who you talk to.
Right.
But like I feel like a lot of what's happening, it's like a dude who fucks around a bunch of women and have all these issues. That's in response to some mommy shit, right? Mm-hmm. And so we responding and overcompensating or not compensating at all for some shit. And it's almost like we're taking on identities to get through. Mm-hmm. And so there's a cost associated with taking on that new identity or making that shift or whatever. And so for like dudes, when we make this shift, it's not being able to connect necessarily to a woman, mm-hmm. not being able to share how we really feel, you know, to a woman. And as a result of that, our communication breaks down, or, you know, there's a lot of tension and frustration or whatever. Mm-hmm. And if men have been showing up in that way to women for so long, or putting them in these small boxes that aren't in their best interest, what's their reaction to that? And I feel like a lot of it is like I'm going to go get mine, and I get it. I'm not saying I understand it, but in the same way that I ask myself, what's the cost of that dude responding in the way that he is? Mm-hmm. What is the cost to us as like a people when women are responding that way? I'm not saying it's the wrong way.
Right. No, I don't think you're saying it's the wrong way, but I think what I think people are understanding too is like family structures are changing. You know, there's not I think just to me, raising a responsible human being who has, you know, compassion, who has, you know, who knows how to finish things, and who, like, that's what's important to me. And there's ways to get that. It doesn't have to be, you know, just like, you know, even though my son's father is heavily involved with my son. My son's father, shout out to him and his wife, they the bond.com. But still, yeah. How many times have I called you and said, yo, talk to Scooter? Yeah. You know, the family structure is different. Yeah. And I think sometimes where I'm hearing men all throwing this up in our face, they're not realizing that family structures are changing. Family, and even within, you know, your own family, like I had to tell my mom is at a place of freedom now because she kind of like cut off some relationships or just stepped away from relationships in our blood family, trying to be family. I'm like, family is who you make it, who's going to uplift you, who's going to call you out and hold you accountable in a loving way. You don't have to be in this place that doesn't do you well just to say you're having a family.
But even that though, I feel I'm pushing back. Even with that though, I feel that's a reaction to some shit the way the dude's been showing up.
Guess what? It may be, but still.
Because if dudes was doing what y'all say.
But here's the thing. So I'm agreeing with you. It may be a reaction, but here's the thing. If you walking through a grass, right, and you taking this one path, and every time you take this path, a snake bites your ankle. How many times are you going to keep taking that path? You're going to start going another path.
But that's my point. Long
as you get to where you're going, what is the problem?
But so that's my point.
Yeah.
So where we're going has also been redefined.
Yeah.
How we're going to get there has also been redefined. The family structure and all that stuff, to your point, is changing, but the statistics are still the statistics when it comes to some of this stuff. And I don't know what the, I'm just a single motherfucker, so I don't know nothing about nothing. But
I still question statistics too. Not saying they aren't, there isn't some truth to them, but like, I have a good circle of friends. And most of my friends, my male friends, they are really good guys. Like really, really good standout guys. And guess what? Most of them have single mom, was raised by a single mom.
well, so but hold on. Yeah. Am I a good guy?
Huh?
Am I a good guy?
I think you're a good guy at your core.
You see how you said she added core.
But we all got our shit with
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So imagine us dating. Imagine that shit.
I've seen you grow, though.
So
I've seen you grow.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've seen you grow. Now, I would not have recommended the old James to my worst enemy.
Okay, thank you.
As much as I love you.
Thank you. So there's a lot of us are good guys to our friends, but when we showing up as a totally different motherfucker.
That's true.
Not totally different, but parts of us are showing up in that.
No,
that's not
true.
showing up in the other
But the
one.
way I am close to my guys, and the way I am the girl's guy, I have been the
That's
only
true.
girl. I see the shit. Like, you can't hide it from me.
Yep.
And I have called you out
Yep.
and some of the guys
You-
out.
you-
We done
you-
got into heated debates, and now I tell it, you want some fuckboy shit.
Yeah, you
I
have.
have even told my son that sometimes, like, I didn't raise you to be on some shit like that. You know?
And that's why I think male, opposite sex, platonic relationships
it.
are so motherfucking important, man.
Oh my God.
And it's crazy how many people don't think that they're possible.
Because they listen to Steve Harvey telling them that they can't have them. Like, no.
Dude, because that's a level of accountability
Yep.
and visibility that I have into me that, as cool as me and him are, there's a way he's gonna say something to me that touches a part of me. The way you say something to me is gonna touch a totally, and what you even see is different.
It's like, it's like
I
having
don't
a
know.
sister.
I mean, it is like
Yeah.
having a sister, but I can't, it was an ex, but remember we had a little thing, and I remember I don't know if you remember, what I have always loved about you, and you with your accountability, you apologized to me though. I don't know if you remember that conversation when you and Miss Girl, my girl crush, oh, she was so beautiful. But
Don't say her name, please.
But you even apologized to me when we were talking about it. And I don't know if you remember, and I just thought that was so profound back then,
About what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You even though you didn't do it to me, but as a man, you still apologized to me. And you was like, yo, you understood that you were on your, and I was like, yeah, no, that's.
I was on my shit.
You want some bullshit. Like, that was you just stop it, do
Yeah.
better, So I do think, those relationships are, but here's the thing, there's so many men who are still fighting that, and they're not listening. They're not listening to this, why, and I think what people need to understand is Black women, we're over this trope of being strong. Black women, we're not interested in being strong. We're not interested in holding them down. We don't want to be ride or die. I don't want to have to die to be with you. We're not interested in that. We are interested in having life experience, making memories, saying, drinking our water, keeping our skin tight, and having kumbaya moments with the people we love. This is where a lot of us are now.
Well, so here's the thing. So there's a couple things. I think we're talking about nuance, multiple things. Mm-hmm. So if you're in, if you're raising a family together and you're in relationship, marriage, whatever, that's what you wanted, right? You got with this dude and y'all got married and whatever happened, even if you didn't, you started a family and you're in a space, that's what you wanted. Mm-hmm. But then something happened, either he was either he was out there or he wasn't showing up the way he was supposed to. Mm-hmm. He didn't deal with the things that he had, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. So your response to that is to Now I'm going to focus away from this thing and focus into something. Let me finish. Focus away from that, which is a completely understandable response, as opposed to back in the day when you would just suffer. You would just be sitting at home in the 3 o'clock in the morning waiting for this dude, or sitting at home with this silence of this dude who can't communicate, and you're just miserable on the inside. Your hair is falling out. So instead of doing that, now your correction is to focus on other things. But at some point, someone needs to figure out, even if y'all not together, figure out how to make it so that both of you guys are in a healthy space, not necessarily turning away from something, but understanding what's happening and what it is and dealing with it as it is.
That's a good point.
No, that's a great point. But I think
And that's hard.
I think it's hard, but I think too what the shift is that some women are realizing the healthy space is just choosing me.
But
It's a hard thing to say. It sounds selfish, but it's a hard thing to say, because also what we're realizing too, the way we get older and now too is like unhappy parents raise unhappy kids who therefore be unhappy individuals, and you put that stuff. So it's like we're choosing.
But that's not the dude. That's not the relationship that's making you unhappy. Because a lot of it is each individual in a relationship got to take responsibility for their half.
Exactly.
So if you upset, right? If you getting to a point to where you letting the dude or a situation control how you responding to your kids, that's the individuals. In the same way with the dude. I'm not
responding to your kids. It's not just about responding to your kids, showing your kids, because you can treat your kids like gold, but that doesn't mean that kid isn't seeing it and watching you normalize not being treated a certain way or not,
But that's
and it's
both
like,
sides too.
But that,
and that's what I'm saying. It is both sides too, because guess what? There are women who are out here cheating and stuff and doing things too. There are women who are. I don't think I think it looks more dramatic from my part because we are the ones who's supposed to sit there and everything.
Yeah.
But there are people. I think on both sides, people are just opting out of relationships a little bit more now on both sides.
So thank you. Yes, and that's wrong. For the individual, I get it. But for a motherfucking group of people, that's not the move.
See, here's the thing. So when we talk about opting out, right? It just feels like a lot of times, well, not feels like, in my experience and talking to people and trying to, that you're opting out, but you're not dealing with what needs to get dealt with in yourself and how y'all lay together. Once you started to make this family and you have these kids, you have an obligation to whatever that looks like to deal with yourself so you can deal with whatever it is. Both people. Now, I don't but instead of dealing with it, right? Dudes turn and just do stupid shit. Women turn and just do whatever but that's not and the kids see that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes dealing with it is just opting out though.
No, but the kids see that
The
too.
kids see the opt out.
The kids see, let me tell you something. When you turn away and you say, I'm going to focus on getting this, right? Kids see that, and that means something to them. Just like when the dudes go and they just do it, like you just said, they see you treating their mom poorly, they see that shit too. Both of those things, if you don't deal with it, that kid is affected by it.
So, you're absolutely right. But I think, I think in the ideal world, we want to say deal with it means stay together and this family be great and whatever and heal. No, sometimes healing means sometimes just saying, you know what? We need to just co-parent. This is the best thing for this kid and we need to move on.
But so where you and Scooter's pop at, where you and Scooter's father are at now, took some time.
It took some time to be like this whole super like cool, but let me say this. When they start from the jump, we made a decision to co-parent and be civilized. Now we are all friends now. We've been like that over the past, maybe 10 years, but we co-parents and we're civilized with each other.
So that's what I'm saying.
And we showed, and we had a front. Even if we were fronting for Scooter, we never made him feel like he had to choose between. We always showed him, but that we're lucky because now I genuinely love his wife.
That's what I'm saying.
Family.
That's what I'm saying took a while to get to. We think we fronting. The kids know. It's the energy.
Yeah.
It's the energy. They know.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
what I'm saying is how you talk, how you feel about him took a while to get there.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes you got to walk the walk and talk the talk and the feelings will come later. But dudes got to get, when dudes sit here and we have conversations about what's going on, niggas got to get their shit together.
Yep.
They just flat out do.
Yeah.
They just flat out do. What we are experiencing right now with our women is a reaction to the way we've been showing up.
Yep.
Now, we've got a lot of excuses and justifications in a lot of cases, but at the end of the day, your mama issues, you shutting down, you allowing your motherfucking emotions to dictate your actions and your reactions.
Yeah, you're medicating all of the shit that you ain't dealt with.
All the alcohol,
Yeah.
drinking, video, whatever the fuck your thing is,
Right.
because we're putting our women in positions
Yeah.
that don't serve the family.
Right,
And you're not putting your best, you're putting yourself in the best position
and
for that.
all of these women who were in relationships at some point, if that man had dealt with that shit, then they wouldn't be talking about, oh, I'm going to do me. They will be growing and happy in a relationship because both people are dealing with their shit.
Here's the thing, though. I hear what you're saying, and I am agreeing with it. But I don't want you guys. It's almost that thing. I don't know if I'm explaining it right. Like, it's not even when we're doing this though. It's not in a place where it's like, oh, I'm gonna show him or a bitterness. It's just that it's one of the things. I was like, you ever had that person who was like beefing with you or had an issue with you and you don't know why, and they thinking it's like, I'm not thinking about you. It's really sometimes it's just a lot of that too.
But so
and it may still be subconsciously still reactive.
that's what I'm saying.
It's still a reacting to something. There's a cause and effect for everything. But it's not this thing where it's like, oh, it's just that, like most of my clients who are married say they won't do it again. And it's like, I tried it. If it don't work, I love my husband. If it don't work, I try. I don't have no reason to do it again. I'm never getting married again. It's just, things are changing. We're seeing the light, and we have been told by, religion and everything, this is how things have to be. Now people are challenging everything. We're challenging religion. We're challenging all these things. So you can't just say, I'm going to challenge this one structure, and because all that, especially religion, brought about most of the way we are. So you can't just challenge that one thing and think we're not going to challenge anything else.
You're supposed to challenge it all. If a marriage failed, doesn't mean the institution of marriage is wrong. It just means that maybe the metrics you used to pick that nigga was the wrong metrics. Maybe we as a people don't know how to pick right, healthy relationships. Maybe we don't. Maybe we've got to do a better job at healing our own individual wounds, understanding what commitment and relationships are and the purpose of all of this stuff so that we can create the right framework to even get into and ask somebody to participate in. Because we have these ideas of what this shit, our feelings are dominating every fucking decision that we make. This motherfucker fucks me good, or he looks good, or I could get this, or I could get that, or all of these things that we use that are temporary, that come and go. We're using them as fundamental building blocks for relationships. So if you got something that's flexible as your foundation, it's gonna. It's not, and again, the word marriage is just a marriage. It's the idea of these two people so you can create this this other human so that you can move forward. And I ain't even saying I got all the motherfucking answers, because I know I don't. I've been divorced. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like the dudes are saying they're gonna do what they want to do. I feel like the women is saying that they're gonna do what they want to do, and everybody's agreeing to do that after they bring a baby into the world, miraculously for some strange reason. And then the dude go off and do more and do other shit, and the women go off and do more and other shit, and then it's just I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like it's
Yeah,
a
but
bunch of shit.
It gets to that point that you're saying. So there was a point where, you guys there was a future talked about. There was, you wanted to be with this motherfucker for the rest of your life. But again, how you measure how that moves, for both people, it starts to move and shift, and we haven't dealt with our shit, and that shit just sometimes creates a disaster. And women are now saying, to your point, which is a valid point, that I'm not going to sit here in this misery
Right.
and just be miserable for the rest of my life. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's appropriate response.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But there's a ride that comes all the way to where you get to here. Not saying now that you are sitting in a chair and making all these great plans and doing all these dope shit, that you're pining over this cat who ain't treat you right in the beginning, right?
Right.
But there was a time when you thought that was your future, right? And if he had his shit together, or at least started to try to learn how to communicate, then it might have ended up a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Now, this leads us to Mr. Morale and the two-stepper.
Yeah.
Because
Ooh.
what's beautiful, I feel, about where we are, like 2022, black people, there's a lot more conversation about accountability.
Yeah.
There's a lot more men, public figure men, owning shit, taking responsibility, doing work to try to understand what's going on, why they were making the decisions that they were making, trying to minimize harm, trying to be more honest, and being vocal about it. And we're using therapy, we're using, introspection and new age and all that kind of stuff. And I think we will eventually, at some point in time, come around. But it's going to take a little bit more time. And to that point, what did y'all think about Mr. Morale and the two-steppers?
Ooh. I thought it was good. It was an emotional roller coaster for me. What's the song where he's talking about him being molested? That,
Or they thought he was molested?
Huh?
Or they thought he was molested, where his mom kept insisting that he had been molested?
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot.
Mom, I'm looking it up now. It's called, I think that mug was called Mother I Sober, I think is what it was.
Yeah. That hit hard for me, only because, I just remember when I was 8 months pregnant and I had a breakdown. Like, I had to go to the hospital and everything, but I had dealt with molestation myself. And also, my stepfather was a creep, So I remember I was in the house and he just looked at me weird, one of his little creepy ways, and I just had a panic attack.
This is when you were 8 months pregnant?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just remember thinking, all the women in my family are victims of, sexual abuse. I know I'm having a boy. How can I make sure this stops right then and there? And I had no clue, no answer. And not only that, too, being much more ignorant back then, my son is 25 now. Like, I've always had gay friends, and I always appreciated my gay friends, but still, I still wasn't enlightened enough to the point where I still say I can respect you being gay, but didn't have this mindset that being gay was wrong. It was like, I'm accepting you, but I don't want my kid to be gay. So it was even from a place there, I was like, I don't want anyone, I know from my friends who are gay, my male friends, that it started from sexual abuse, some of them. I don't want this happening to my son, so I just lost my shit. I just lost my shit. So when he talked about, how that one line when he said, even questioning his thoughts and stuff like that, and it just kind of like, it just hit home for me, it hit home for me, it was heavy. Mm-hmm. It was heavy. I think it needed to be said. I think it was something, conversations need to be had in our community, because, I know too many women who go, and when I'm beginning to find out, I know a lot more men who are going through this, and it's just not being said.
Yeah.
It's just not being said, and they're not speaking out because they are scared that their sexuality is going to be questioned. And it's like, no, if you've been molested by a man or whatever, that doesn't mean, and that doesn't mean that you are gay. Even if because people don't even understand, even with molestation and being raped and everything, when things happen, it's a terrible experience, but that doesn't mean you don't feel things, sexual things, it's weird. I wouldn't say pleasure or whatever, but that doesn't mean that you don't get aroused. So you deal with that, feeling dirty from those things. This is really
Feel guilty. Yeah.
I thought we said we was gonna keep this shit light. But anywho, we already down this rabbit hole. Let's go there. Yeah. So I think these are conversations that really need to be had, because that's not what it means, you know.
And the deep shit is that, what he was saying, and I like that song too, especially when he was talking about, grief, try dealing with grief when you're sober.
Yeah.
Not just, when I thought about it, not just being sober and guilt. He said guilt, sober too. Not being sober, intoxicated, alcohol, drugs, but however you medicate, whatever drug you use, the women, the just being, running through multiple women, all of that medication that you do, you know what I'm saying? It's so you don't deal with the shit that you have to deal with. You medicate it, you know what I'm saying? So you go through, so men grow up going through their whole lives when they experience that or something similar, or even like you said, the thought of it, right? Someone who around them who's doing it, watching his mother dealing with a lot of shit. They medicate that through all of these wild, what we call, fuckboy behaviors. All of this wild shit that we do is all medication, not to deal with what we're really going through. And so it starts to, man, you destroy relationships, bro. You go through and leave destruction. I mean,
like a tornado.
Level. Relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship. And you don't know fucking why until you start to really deal with the grief and the guilt sober.
Yeah.
And you add a piece, we have no idea what motherfuckers is really going through.
We don't.
Yep.
People we living with, people we sleeping with, have no idea. And sometimes it shows up in just not saying nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that is the response to 30, 40, 50 years of just dealing with some shit that you never really even addressed.
Yeah.
And when we connect with somebody, they can't see that far back. All they can see is how you showing up.
Yeah, presenting yourself now.
How you present yourself now.
How
And that's the
you
best.
yourself.
Dude, when that motherfucker said, the main thing that got me to get my shit together, bro. And I get feeling that pain and that guilt from what I did to women. Sober?
Sober.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Me too.
this is over. I mean, like, in every motherfucking, I will die before I do what I was doing again.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I had to put myself in this position to be so motherfucking uncomfortable to feel that shit
Yeah.
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 and then to deal with it,
Yeah.
to be like, oh, okay, that's what that is.
Yeah.
I got you. We good.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna have to go there no more.
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah.
I got you. We cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, if you fucking around, if you sober, if you shutting down, if you not shutting down, if you yelling, shit, that can be a form.
All of that shit is medication, bro. All that shit is intoxication. The shutting down, you disconnect yourself from what you're actually feeling. You know what I'm saying? That shit is just like being drunk.
Yeah,
or
but you
being
still
high.
feel that shit.
It's just you just don't want to. You don't
still
want to
feel
feel
it.
that shit.
Yeah.
And all the rest of the shit that we do, dog, and we do it for. I mean, Kendrick was talking about this shit at 12. We do this shit for 40 years, bro, of doing that, disconnecting yourself and medicating, and we run through. And the same thing. Once you looked at that guilt and that grief sober,
Yeah.
man, that shit will break you down.
It'll break you down.
To you strip of nothing but what the fuck you're feeling. And that shit is raw and it forces you to say, like you just said, I'm not doing that shit no more.
Well,
I gotta deal
it
with this
forces
shit.
maybe forced you to, but there are a lot of people that I know who
But they don't get to the point, they don't realize, they don't see it.
Because I
they
don't.
see it. Some people, here's the thing, we want to think human beings are always going to just do right. No, I know people who see it and they just still okay with just being some shit. Unfortunately, there are great human beings and then there are just shitty human beings, and and you have to also learn to also, when you come across people like that, to once again, learn how to protect your space, your energy, and understand, like, listen, I can't grow with you. You want to stay in this dark place, I got to move on, you know, because some people do learn or whatever, but there are people who see it and understand, and they're still okay. Like I tell my son all the time, I said, watch out for people in life, because not everybody wants to be great. And if they don't want to be great, you don't need to be around them. It's not up to you to try to make them want to be great. It's one thing if they're not great, but it's a different, and you want to be great, but people who just want to sit in a bad place, and there are people who just want to do that. And that's back to what we were talking about before, as far as family structure, where I had to tell my mom, like, listen, certain people in our family, we have family trauma. Our family done been through the shit, All the women in our family have been sexually abused, all of them. Are we going to sit in this place and suffer and let our abusers win? Or are we going to get help, heal, and thrive out this motherfucker? You only got one life. If you want to sit here and always be the victim, woe is me, I get it. But I'm not going to sit here and be a victim. So I have to disassociate myself from them. I love them, but I'm going to love you from afar, because I get it. I've been through what you're going through, but I'm not going to let that define me, who you are. But there are people who just want to, I'm proud of you two brothers. I've seen your growth. I've seen you. We done had our conversations, crying and all this stuff. I've seen your growth, whatever, I've seen it. I'm so proud of you all the time. I always try to tell you how proud of you I am, So I've seen it firsthand, but there are some people who just, unfortunately, who don't want to grow, and they are okay with not being great or never experience great. They just want to sit and shit and stew.
And so, as a person who I'm sure somebody said that about, I know somebody said that. Whatever you just said about somebody else, I know somebody said that about me.
That's a fact.
I guarantee it. So
You might be saying it right now.
I'm sure. Because some people don't let you change in their head.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying.
That's clean, bro. Say that shit again. Some people don't want you to change, bro.
And won't let you.
Right. Yeah.
Because of
that's heavy.
a lot of what I think, there's a disconnect that is there, intentional, I think, for some people. Some people just, it's like saying, I know there's something in that closet. I put it in that motherfucker. But I'm not opening that door.
Right.
I'm just not gonna open the door.
Right.
So I know it's there.
Yeah.
I don't know how bad it stinks. I walk by every now and then and I could smell it coming out,
Yeah.
but I ain't opened it and seen the carcasses and the motherfucking bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'll just be like, no.
It's like that carton in the refrigerator. It's like, oh, you know them eggs. Oh, you need to throw them out.
The blood and guts and pus are coming out the bottom of the fucking closet.
And you just cool.
You can see it.
Yeah.
And you just like, I'm not even, and sometimes I don't even look back there. I smell the shit. And I, like you said, I put it in there. Yeah. I'm not even gonna look. I'm gonna watch TV like it.
So most times, I think we come across people who did that and are at that point in their life.
Right.
And sometimes they open the door, sometimes they never do. That's the piece that I think varies from individual to individual.
Right.
But there are the people who open that door, they either lose their goddamn mind.
Yeah.
I remember one thing my therapist told me a while back ago. It's going to get better before it gets worse. I mean, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
That is a fact.
Because even with you learning, having your coping tools and everything, you got to go back and open doors. And
you got to open the doors.
And,
open that closet.
like you said, and really, really
you gotta look
deal with shit.
You got to look at it. And that's
you got to look at it in the face, and you got to, But I think too, a good thing that has helped me with some of the things I dealt with is too, I think sometimes what gets in people's way is trying to make sense of everything. Everything ain't got to make sense. And it don't always have to be, there's usually a cause to mostly everything, but sometimes it's not meant for you to understand. So I'm over trying to understand why my rapist chose me. You know what I'm saying? I'm over trying to understand, why, as much as everyone knows I'm close to my mom and my father, but we came a long way. There were things that were put before me that I didn't understand then, and I had so much resentment. But once I stopped trying to understand that and make sense out of it, those are my dogs. My mom is my bestie. My dad is my bestie. I can give them the world because I know they've been through something. I don't have to understand exactly what they've been through, but I know they've been through it. And I can just say, listen, how can we improve our relationship? Now, it doesn't mean that with all that, you still don't have times where, like my mom and my dad, they can they can bring out the worst in me too. Even with me forgiving them and deciding to build a relationship, and it's a loving one now, my mom can make me flare up and I can be as calm, I can get disrespected around, dealing with some women sometimes, how struggle, they can say the shadiest thing. And I can be like, okay, tell Keena, block her, she can't come back. But my mom, I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm ready to throw shoes. I'm going to throw a phone and...
But you know what? I think I don't know where y'all, and man, I'm not even saying that's your fucking purpose in life, but the way that you love your mom, your grandmother, and your father, specifically your mom, and relative to like how y'all, like that's a beautiful fucking thing, man. That two completely different human beings who struggled for so much have reached a point in their adult life where they are accepting each other in this way. Yeah. Not to say that there's no motherfucking challenges.
It still works, because she
that's
told
gonna
me
be
off
that
last week.
forever.
Me, her, and grandma getting together for Mother's Day was a whole big thing. And I was proud because I was the one I'm usually the emotional one blowing up, but she blew up on me. And I was just like, you finished? But it's a lot of work. It takes, but I think too with, I hate when I think people do a disjustice to their kids when they say you can't be friends with your kids. I'm not your friend. I think that because the thing about it is when you care from someone as a friend, there's a level of respect there too. That sometimes we have this notion that because they're your parents, that they're supposed to get the utmost respect. In an ideal world, but when someone is supposed to protect you, you see them and they haven't done that, it's hard to get that. But when you could come in and that friendship come in and you see him in another way and you see, okay, I didn't get this protection as mom, but this is my daughter. I can go lay my head on her shoulder. She wasn't in a place to protect me as a mom back then, or my dad wasn't in a place to protect me as a dad back then. But when we talking about our vulnerabilities and everything, that's my dog, this is us. It brings a whole different level of respect. So I think us having that, building the friendship is what saved us. And I cringe when I hear people say, I ain't my child's friend. I'm like, no, your child, especially now with the internet and so many things going, it's so many things that can happen to your child, that they could be going through. My mom didn't know that I was going through those things. And it's not even her fault, I assume, because when I first saw when my mom was coming up, now I assume crying was a weakness, and my mom was one of the most strongest people I know, but she would cry all the time. So I looked at that as a weakness. So when things were happening to me, I dealt with it because I didn't think she could handle it. I didn't want to make her choose between me and my stepfather. I didn't want her to do this. And it's not, my client tried to tell me that one day, you're blaming yourself as the victim. And I was like, no, I'm not blaming myself as the victim, whatever, at all. What I'm saying, I never gave my mom even a choice to stand up for me. I took on the role like, nah, I'm a strong individual, I can handle it. I'm a G, every time my stepfather did something, I would check his ass. It wasn't like, people always think that abuse is just always this quiet person sitting there being abused. Nah, I would check his ass. He was just crazy and he would still do the shit over again. And I would tell him, you're a creep. And we would have these conversations and my mom didn't know they were going on. But he knew, in his manipulative way, he still knew how much I loved my mom. He knew that I would not make her choose between us. And he played on that. Did you always,
were you always this open talking about it, or did it take you a while?
Over the past 15 years, I became open. I didn't talk about it when I was going through it. My son's father kind of knew when I was going through it. He would say, because we were together as teenagers, he would say, hey, a creep or whatever. It would kind of be the joke between my friends who I lived with, my friends. I had a girlfriend who I would stay over her house all the time. And when the O.J. Simpson thing came about, they called me Kato, the house guest, because I was over there all the time, escaping that, So it was a joke. People kind of knew, but they didn't know everything that was going on, So I just started being open about it 15 years because it's just like, I feel like, I can help someone. I think when people realize that it's not a dirty thing, like I'm not dirty because I went through that. And my mom ain't dirty for, she dealt with, she did what she had. My mom's still an awesome mom. And I'll check any bitch who say anything else about it,
Right.
She dealt with what she knew how to deal with, Because the thing about it, we have to also take in what we normalize and everything too. So that's going back to when I said, sometimes women are just choosing to just not normalize certain things because we know it can have a certain effect on us. So I just choose to be open because it's like, I can help someone. People don't even know, especially the way my stepfather did it. Like it wasn't always physical. It was very mental. You remember how people would get that? You're not from here. Are you from here?
Yep.
So you remember when everybody was buying these big old houses in Bowie and everything, and they was knocking the room door to make the master bedroom. That was a thing. So that was a thing everybody was doing. And my mom and her husband did that when they got their house. And I remember I was ironing my clothes, sounding like a DC person, ironing my clothes to go to school, whatever. And I just remember this nigga just starts, like, it's, you can't see, but you can hear. It's like maybe like a little opening, but you still can't see what's going on. But he turns up porn so I can hear it while I'm ironing my clothes. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that.
So how do you think that, like even in those days, how did that move into your relationships with, like you said, your your son's father? How do you think that sort of affected that?
I was very violent. I was very violent. You know, I just didn't.
Angry.
I was angry. Yeah, I was very
Understandable.
violent. Like I didn't have no patience for it. No, but I remember
Towards men or women or just in general?
anybody can get it. But I just remember after him, and that's when I decided to get the therapy because I was like, I am never going to be in a situation where I have to put my hands on a human being again, or get that mad where I would, reach out and hit a man. Like he's a whole goddamn man. Why are you trying to fight him? Mm-hmm. Because like I said, everybody responds to those things in a different way. I didn't respond by cowering. I responded to my stepfather by bucking back. So that means everybody can get me.
So
I was knuck if you buck to everybody.
So is that because I know that a lot of times, man, when we deal with shit, or I just remember being like in intimate relationships, there was a different level of aggression, right?
Yeah.
Than it is in the street. In the street, it was a different level. It was more just reckless anger. Mm-hmm. In intimate relationship, it was more like you want to be validated and love, or somebody love you so bad that you're willing to almost put up with anything and take anything. But on the flip side of that, you're constantly destroying it by the shit that you do, say, and how you move. You know what I'm saying? But to the street, it's just like blind, whatever. Do you see the differences in that?
Yeah, but I was weird in the way I responded to things. Like, it kind of made me like, after me and my first boyfriend, my son's father, broke up, like, I just guarded myself. I guarded myself. I guarded my heart. I was like, because everyone I saw when it came to love, like I knew these people love me, but I'm like, that love don't feel good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, if this love, I don't want this shit. Right. I don't need to be a part of it. I'm so okay. Like, I'm in love now, but this is the first time I can truly say I've ever been in love. Right. It's not something that I'm proud of at 45. Like, I liked someone.
Say what you just said again?
Huh?
Say what you just said.
I've never been in love.
No, you just said before that. You said this is the first time?
Yeah. That I can honestly say that I'm truly in love.
When?
Huh?
When is that?
With my guy now.
So right now, 2022, Kenny Ford is in love for the first time in her life.
The fuck out this dick.
So
but the vulnerability that comes with it. Ugh.
Does that make you scared?
It doesn't make me scared. I'm not scared because I waited till I was ready to even allow myself. I'm not scared. Like, I'm not scared of it at all. I'm still trying to find patience with it, though. It's not that I'm scared to deal with it. Like I said, with all this trauma, I do know how my mom and dad can bring out things, and because they're so close to me, sometimes I'm like, you know what, I don't have time to bring another person that can bring this out. You know what I'm saying? Even, doing the tools from therapy, learning how to cope and all these coping skills, it is what it is. You can hold yourself accountable, but there's just still people that when you love them and you open your heart to a certain way, they can dig all the way in there and pour your whole guts out.
But that's not the person, though.
Huh?
That's not the person.
Then it's not the person, but
it's the vulnerability.
It's the vulnerability.
And so
it's like a raw nerve.
Whenever
if you pluck it, even if you pluck it soft, it still resonates differently than if you're closed off and somebody tries to plug it. It's nothing.
And so that's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's not the plucking.
No, it's still part of it.
But,
because people know that too. People know that. We are aware of whose buttons we can push too.
True.
We're aware of it.
But it gotta be a button.
Sometimes, people just, want to be on some asshole shit. You know what I'm saying?
What I find interesting about what you're saying it's the first time you've been in love in your life. You're 45.
Yeah.
You've been shut off for a long time.
I love people.
Right. So, but this is different.
Yeah. But this is where I can truly say, okay, like I'm in love, like
You're vulnerable.
But we've had a lot of, so we know each other offline, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna follow your lead on this piece. So I'm gonna let you lead. This is the first time. So you gon' feel a certain way about that.
You'll bump your head and hit your knees and all that shit.
I didn't know that, by the way. I think this is the first time I've ever heard you say that. Yeah. So a lot of the things that you feeling, you supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time.
Yeah. I don't like that shit though.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fair. That is fair.
And doesn't mean I have to stick through and go through it,
But it means you need to understand that it's your first time.
No, I am
So
understand, and that's where I am trying to
head
show
button.
myself grace and patience. But once again, where women are now, it's like I got shit to do too.
But see, okay. But you go to the gym for the first time. You go to the gym for the first motherfucking time at 45 years old. You ain't done no push-ups. You gonna do 3. I mean, you ain't done no sit-ups. You gonna do 3, and it's gonna feel like you did 3,000.
Yeah.
So you gonna go back to the crib, and you gonna be sore because you ain't never done the motherfuckers before. Right. You ain't never done an emotional. Kenny, you ain't never done an emotional sit-up.
Yeah, well.
Now.
I've had a lot of emotional sit-ups, and I don't like this love shit. So. People, we're talking about a conversation we had before this thing too. That he brought in this, but yes, I am learning how to work those love apps, I guess, but I don't like this shit, and this shit is a lot of work, and I don't feel like it.
But here's the thing. I think this is what maybe not. I don't know what the fuck he was getting at, but understanding that this is the love muscle pain from you not using it. Right? And understanding that's what it is different from saying the problem is this. Right? Understanding like this love shit is, and you can even say, I don't like the way this shit feels.
Yeah, but you can understand what it is and still understand that there's some problems within it too.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
But you open in the closet.
Huh?
But you open in the closet.
Yeah, I opened the closet.
You went to the store, you got some ammonia, some Pine Sol, and just come to find out you need some motherfucking acid. Ammonia. But so congratulations though.
Oh, thank you.
I think it is. So what you suffer from, that didn't sound right.
Yeah.
Suffer strong word.
My bad. I didn't mean that.
Because I don't allow myself to suffer.
In any way, shape, or form. Yeah. I didn't mean it. What you
are dealing with.
Very few people are vulnerable. And then the minute you do open up, it's an extremely uncomfortable motherfucking thing, man.
Yeah.
And things are triggered in us because of that vulnerability and it being uncomfortable, and it can make us feel like it's the other person. But it's really the fact that it's us being uncomfortable. Not to say that there's nothing on their side that they need to own and take responsibility for, but the fact that this shit is the first time, like, I didn't know how uncomfortable it was to not sleep around until I stopped. I didn't know.
And then we had that conversation too before.
Yeah, I didn't know.
That conversation, yeah.
Because I had this motherfucking process built in that just said, okay, if I feel this, go do this. If I feel this, go do this. If I feel this, go do this. And it was so built in that I had never even really questioned it. And then the minute I didn't do that.
Sober.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I don't like the way that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that.
Right.
It was something completely motherfucking different.
Right. I mean, that's what I was saying, that, you know, I didn't, you know, it's weird because I would indulge in relationships. I had people that I cared about. I would love them. I will love them where I want to make sure they're good, but I love people, period. That's just who I am. You know, like, I met James and I was like, you're my brother. Yeah. Most of my friendships, like, I know I love you right away.
Right.
Even with friendships, like, one of my homeboy, our homeboy Sekou, he was like, you like, because the two relationships that I ever spoke to him about, like, I counseled with him about, he was like, you like people. I was like, I'm like that with everybody. He said, cool. Either I love you from the jump or like you from the jump, or I don't. It's really no in between. If I have to force it, that's just how it is. But even being that way, it's like, even with the guy that I was dating or whatever, trying to figure it out, like, even with me feeling like, oh, I like him, I'm gonna see what's going on, what's good with him, like, yeah, it still be something like, he got one time. One time and I'm out.
You still
one time
shut
it
off.
make me feel uneasy, like he ain't about Kenny and I'm out, you know.
You still shut off.
Huh?
You still
I
shut
would
off.
still shut off. Yes, I would shut off, but that's because, you know, like I said, when you understand, when you see people who you are trying to love you in their best way, and you know that they're trying, and it just hurts so much, you know, I my mom, she loved me, and what I had to realize, like, I had everything. I ain't never not want for nothing. My mom, when I wanted to go to Paris in the 7th grade, my mom went and got, so Amway worked at Burlington Coat Factory and Marlowe's and the post office, so she could send me to Paris. Like, that was her way of saying, hey,
Yeah.
I couldn't have your back in this way, but you good. I'm gonna make sure you good, you know. And my dad too, the same thing with him, you know, in his issues, he always found a way to make sure I was good. And I had to learn that later, you know, but before then, going through it, I was like, everybody that's supposed to love me hurt me pretty damn bad. Maybe I don't need to be in this love thing. Maybe I just need to just meet people where they are and just give love and not expect it back and maneuver in that way and just listen. And even with friends, and when I figure out, like, I'll show love. Once I figure out they ain't loving me back, bye. Ain't no sweat off my back. That's how I maneuver. And this is the first time I am expecting someone, listen, nigga, you got to love me back. And this is how I need you to love me back.
And that's gonna be a challenge.
Yeah.
Because he's a whole separate motherfucker, right?
Yes.
What have you learned about yourself through this process of being vulnerable? That you didn't know before?
I'm not as tough as I think I am. Oh my God, I'm such a crybaby.
And you said your mother would cry all the time.
Yes, and I always say I didn't want to be a crybaby like her. I wouldn't cry because I didn't want to cry like, and like I said, I associated that with weakness, not strength. And now I'm realizing, nah, I'm just getting some, a lot of times I'm crying though, because I'm like, ooh, I want to kill him today.
So what does that mean? Like, if you could use another word instead of cry, what would you use? What would you say?
I mean, it's just what, that's how I cry a lot. That's just what it is.
So
I
that's
don't
what
have
you-
any other word.
So the crying doesn't mean anything else other than just crying?
I
Like,
mean,
do you
that
feel,
I'm just emotional, yeah. I'm much more emotional than I.
Okay.
But I've always been emotional, you know, I just didn't cry about it. I wouldn't allow myself to cry about it, you know. I was always emotional, you know,
But
like we know this about me.
Right.
You know.
You felt
I
the
probably-
same way, but you just didn't let it get to that next level of crying. But you felt it, whatever it is that would.
I probably felt the same rage, but I just probably didn't cry about it. I probably would throw something, or my big thing, I'll shop, buy a shoe.
so do you cry when you're happy too, right?
I'm a habitual happy crier.
That's funny.
Oh, I cry happy all the time. Now
Me
that's
too.
the only thing I always do. I would never. Don't let me see no babies, no puppies, no baby goats.
Baby goats?
I love baby goats.
They make you cry, yo?
Oh my God, it's so cute. Anything cute makes me cry, James. Y'all know this about me.
I did not know that you cried at
Yes.
baby goats.
Yes.
That's wild.
Yes, or you know, like songs. You know, like songs when they take that octave up because it's like the highlight of the song. Oh, I'ma cry. I'ma cry. I am going to cry.
It's crazy.
Y'all ever put on songs just to make y'all cry? Like happy cry?
Nah.
Okay.
No, I got a playlist called Blue. So when I'm feeling down,
Yeah.
motherfucker, I got Fiona Apple in that joint,
See, I don't like to
Corinne
feel
Bailey
down.
Ray. I want to feel everything.
Y'all wanna know what I play when I feel down?
What?
Lil' Kim.
That's not.
Lil' Kim. I was
Dude,
like,
bro,
get
she
it,
just
get
been in love
money.
for the first time.
Right,
So
nigga.
she trying to figure it out.
If
She,
I'm
like
playing
this,
Lil' Kim and Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt in the salon, yeah, that means I'm just, and Currency, that's my guy. When I'm feeling down, I'm just like, let me just go make this
See?
money. I could play Currency all day long. I'm like, I'm focusing on getting money. That's how I maneuver. I ain't got time to be sitting around sad. Let me go get this bread. you see me doing all this marketing stuff, whatever. If I'm posting 18 things about my business, it's somebody done piss me off.
That's funny.
I saw
So I
something.
got to go get this
You know what's
money.
crazy? It's funny because I looked on the joint today and it said, the Color Lab is the #1 source. And I'm like, who pissed you off? I just saw that this morning.
Time to get this
Color
money.
Lab is the #1 source for all your hair needs.
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't got time to be sitting around dwelling in it crying. I'm just gonna go get this bread.
If I don't deal with it, it piles up.
Yeah, me too.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I've gotta, whatever it is at that moment, I gotta feel what it is. It's almost like I gotta give it light.
Yep.
So that it can go away. Because if I take it and not judge, I'm just offering
No.
like how I do it. So I gotta, okay, this is what it is. Okay, you trying to tell me something. I don't look at it as bad necessarily either.
Right.
I think that's another thing. I'll be like, okay, I feel this way. I have this kind of feeling. And I'll say, okay, let me look at it. Let me give it some light. Let me open the door. And then once I open the motherfucker and see what's in there, then I clean it out and then I go do something else. And then I might feel that way again in an hour or even a year, 6 months. But whatever the interval is for that feeling, I gotta give it attention. Otherwise, if I don't, it builds up in me and starts to turn into like something else.
Yeah, it
And
gets heavier and heavier.
It gets heavier and heavier. And it's even in my interactions with like my lady and shit. If I'm feeling something, I gotta get it the fuck out. There's no other way of otherwise it just builds up.
Yeah, I'm going in the salon and then working my ass off, and then it's just going to be like a shoebox coming.
Oh, to where you order something? Who's a new fashion person you've been looking at?
Ooh, who am I?
Because she's a fashion nut.
Who am I in love with right now? They're not even new. Gosh, I will say I am enjoying exploring Black designers, you know, with Kimberly Ghost and Pryor Moss. And I'm find myself always being on the search. I love, even though his purse style isn't for me, I'm
That
still
Trafalgar dude.
Brandon Blackwood. And the Teflon. I don't per se like the style of purses. They're not my style, but I am happy for them. So I do go in and check, and every day I'm checking to see if
they
it's something
winning.
that's for me.
They winning.
Yeah, but it's not for me. But I have bought gifts for my friends to make sure that I support.
Yeah.
But I still love, like, I've always been a Tom Brown. I love Loewe. I love what they're doing, and
You know the pronunciation of the name?
huh?
You know, I found it's Loewe.
Loewe. Oh, okay. Well,
The
thank
W,
you.
the W
It's a V.
is a V.
that.
Loewe.
That is good to know. That is good to know.
I
didn't
heard somebody else. I went online, look, and they because I think I was calling the shit low, LOEWE.
Yeah.
I didn't know the W
yeah.
was a V.
Oh, and I'm loving this company. I like quirky things though. Like anybody that's kind of like quirky and everything has a lot of texture and color. That's why I like Loewe because I love the elephant bags or the geometrical bags, and I love their logo. And I'm not even a big logo person.
Yeah,
I love
their
their
logo's
logo.
dope.
I love Tom Brown. I love Dotson.
I don't understand.
I love Dotson, so that's what turned me on to him because the Hector bag. I have a Dotson, so and I was like,
I don't understand the
androgynous look of it.
No, just like most of the stuff that I've seen,
gray.
you know, it's gray and they got the little white, the stripes or whatever.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, I've never felt like the fabric or whatever that it's made out of, but I'm like, damn.
I like what he does with because me as a person who loves color, it's weird, even though he does everything great, it's a weird way it seems color because the way he plays with shapes. So especially like me, I'm one of those people I'm big on, I feel like I can see sounds and see or feel yellow and everything. So even though it's gray, it feels yellow.
It's different, yeah.
It's weird to me. I can't really explain it. I love this company called Awake. Wake mode, the tech, like the asymmetrical there, type thing. I love them. Oh gosh, there's so many. I love that Jacquemus. They're coming out with the big bags.
Who?
Now. Jacquemus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name right.
How you spell it?
Jaqeuemus.
Nah, I ain't even heard of it.
Yeah, so they have. You ever seen the little teeny bags?
You a bag nut and shoes.
Yeah, bag and shoes.
Okay.
Yeah. And for real, right now too. I don't know who Zara's designers are. I know they take inspiration for everything, but I'm just loving that they're back to colors too. I'm enjoying Zara.
I've never been in a Zara store.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's for women, right?
Yeah, no, women and men.
There's dudes in there?
Hell yeah, and I buy my.
I mean like dudes, not like gay dudes.
No.
Men?
Dudes, yeah. And
said
they're
men.
very reliable and stuff lasts.
I'm sorry,
I
internet.
get stuff on my dad there. That's where my
okay.
took from my father. Yeah. I love that they're back to colors because last year everything was new. Everything's like popping. Oh, Bottega is giving me all the feels right now.
So she's into that bag shit.
No, but no, they're closed too.
They
color. They just changed creative director. So I was worried about what direction they were going to go with, but I heard they kept the apprentice or the guy that was right under their creative director took over. Oh, and I love this black designer I'm obsessed with, Rich Fresh. They're out of LA. They're two brothers. So you see the
Rich
Dwayne,
Fresh?
Yeah, you see Dwayne Wade and them. They always have these leisure suits that have the 3 stripes of color going through. But they're bespoke leisure suits. I love that they're just challenging men to put on bright ass colors. So it'll be like a burgundy suit with a pink and yellow stripe in the middle of it. I love it. Yeah, and they supposed to be coming out with a women's wear line. I can't wait. Probably be out of my price range, but I have to. I always say too. I think I'm gonna marry my guy. He says we're gonna get married one day, but I want them to do his tuxedo. And
you know what's killing me, bro? She always say she don't want to go deep, and then she will throw a little something out.
Yep.
And then because she wanna go, but she say she don't want to go. This is women. This is why y'all so motherfucking confusing.
Yep.
You started this conversation by saying, nah, the way women is acting ain't a reaction.
Yeah.
Y'all want a man to stand the fuck up and tell y'all what to do and where to go. Look at her face. I'm kidding.
No, I don't.
I'm kidding.
Don't do that. I'm the last one. Because I'm going to be like,
I'm kidding.
Just because you told me to go right, I'm going to go left.
Listen,
So,
but you want to get married?
I would marry him. I would try it.
No.
I know. I would try it. That's all I got.
No.
I would try it.
No, I can't.
I feel like I used to be like, I want to get married and it has to be forever.
Listen.
Now I feel like I would try it. If
that's not marriage. Okay. Trying is not marriage. Yeah. Trying ain't marriage. Oh. Can we get a foundational understanding of what the fuck marriage is so that we can move forward? You don't try marriage.
She's like, I hear you.
I just
Says
want to make
the man
sure.
who's been divorced.
Listen,
You
I
tried,
I
but it
hadn't.
didn't work.
No, I didn't try. That's the thing.
Okay. Touche.
That's the thing. That's the part you
You
missed. I
didn't
was
try.
trying.
Well, I know people who tried.
You don't. But see, you don't.
My mom tried.
You don't try. These people didn't try.
My mom definitely tried. That's not fair.
But looking
My mom
back,
actually
though,
was left. My
but
mom
she didn't
definitely-
go into it trying. She went into it
Right,
like it's
thank
gonna
you.
be forever.
Like-
But then
I
shit
am going to
happened.
go into it forever.
That ain't what you
not what you
just.
said.
That ain't what you said.
I am gonna. No, I want.
Joe.
I
Joe,
want to be
I'm
with
look-
this guy.
listen, bro.
I do.
You said I would try.
No, I want to go. I want to be with this guy the rest of my life. That's
So
what-
listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying as your brother. And I don't know if you want me to say this online, but I'm saying it online. What is going to be required of you to accomplish that task is something that you don't know you can do, but you're gonna have to fucking do it.
But that's why I'm not rushing into it
So
until I know
you
I
ain't
can
got
do
it, but you ain't got, but you just said something. So you got it. What you said is you want to spend the rest of your life with him. You didn't say I'm thinking about spending the rest of your life. You said I want to spend the rest of my life with him. Sometimes we're saying we want to do something and don't necessarily know how the fuck we're gonna do it, and it's so ambitious
Yeah.
that it scares us.
Yeah, but that's why he don't need to propose to me until until I'm there.
So-
this because I want to spend the rest of my life with him doesn't mean that if he was propose to me tomorrow that I'll say yes. You know what I'm saying? I know that I am not there to take on that responsibility yet, regardless of how I feel. That is a responsibility. I am very much aware of that.
Okay, so what would it take for you to do that? What would it take? What's missing? You said you're not there yet. What does there look like?
I'll be lying to say I know it. I don't know. I think I'll just feel it, you know.
So you'll know it when
So
you
here's
know.
the thing. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. There's no feeling.
No.
There is no feeling.
And it was just maybe a choice of a discipline.
Yes!
Well, I'm not disciplined enough yet.
So,
is that the better answer?
that's it.
Because I do feel like in relationships, there is a discipline. With everything is a discipline.
So the lie is that it's a
relationship.
feeling. It's not a feeling. It's not a feeling.
No.
It's not a feeling. You are not going to wake up one day and feel what you think you need to feel in order to make that motherfucking leap. People like us don't feel that.
Yeah.
What we feel is doubt.
Yeah.
What we feel is fear.
I've been looking at relationships for a while after reading a couple of books about that everything is a choice, you know, that you choose to be, you know, monogamous. You choose to put the work in. You choose to do this and that. So I am very aware of that, you know. So maybe I should say when I feel like being disciplined, because me, you know, right now, you know, sometimes I just be like, I do want to be like, damn, I want to go to my mama's house.
And that might be a part of it too.
Yeah.
But like, how you get there? How you?
But I don't want to feel like I don't want to feel like, you know, at 65, I want to go to my mama's house because I want to.
But if that's what you, but see, that's
like,
what.
does that ever go away?
No, it might not. But that, but if again, we talking about
But
feelings.
I will say, I am because the times that I have felt like that, guess where I stay? Right at 331 N Street. I'm not going to my mama's house.
See?
And my mama would love for me to come over her house, but I sit my ass right there and I deal with it. So maybe I am more there than I give myself credit for, you know, maybe, but it's still no rush.
It's hard. So again,
I love him. We have the rest of our lives to spend together to me. So he don't have to rush to propose to me. Take his time.
so everything you're describing is fear. Everything you're describing is fear. And that's natural because you're doing something you ain't never fucking done before. Mm-hmm. So don't think that the feelings or the doubt is the problem. It doesn't, you can replace you doing something you ain't never done before.
Yeah.
So give yourself a break. The feelings that you feel when they're not positive, whatever the fuck that means, that's just a part of making the decision that you made. If you end up not wanting to be with the motherfucker no more, which I'm not hearing you say, by the way, like it's not Doesn't have to necessarily be because he's a bad guy, wrong guy. Most motherfuckers just want different shit.
Yeah.
But it's not because of a feeling. Them feelings, the people who are getting divorced are the ones who was the feelings.
Yeah.
Them was the divorced motherfuckers. Like the feelings.
Well,
How you feel?
I feel that I want to be with him the rest of my life.
I was talking about the podcast. She still want to talk about this nigga.
Oh, I did this. Didn't he say how you feel from that?
I'm feeling like
I'm
you
confused.
went into this like, I don't want to get too deep and heavy.
I thought you were talking about, but I was about to say.
How do you feel about Joe?
Going back to your question, your fashion question. Oh, how I feel about it? I love him, but I want to get back to your fashion. Who are you liking right now?
I'm big, not big, but I'm heavy onto the fear of God. I like this dude, Rivington Raboy Royce or something. I don't know.
Never heard of
It's
him.
RRR123 is his.
Oh yeah. Okay. Is that a black guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what? Are you loving Greg Lauren?
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't
By
know.
the way-
I thought RRR was part of the Lauren family. I don't know why. So
his
He's a
quality.
black guy?
Yeah, he's a black dude.
oh,
Greg Lauren's quality is so fucking shitty. I'm not buying anything. I got like 3 pair of pants and I got like 3 shirts.
really?
And
Because it looks distressed. Most of it. It's
the
really
buttons are
distressed.
popping off. 2 buttons have popped off.
No,
Anyway,
do better,
I can talk
'cause
about that
pants
shit.
are 800 up and up.
Listen, I'm not buying anything else from
Yeah.
him. But
so the R, what does it stand for? RR.
Rivington Raboy Royce. It's something crazy.
Okay.
But-
I've always thought that was part of the Lauren.
No. RRR123.
Wow.
he's
Why
dope.
did I associate them two together? Maybe because the style, because I saw when I first was introduced to him years ago, it was the denim, you know.
Yeah, I think he
Yeah.
has some pants, some jeans. I like his
Yeah.
shirts and
Yeah. No,
hoodie.
because I see him, I'm like, God damn, like I like nice things, but $300, starting at $300 for jeans for me, is the way my thighs go up and down.
Nah, he
that ain't
more
gonna
than
work
that.
for me.
I like
It ain't gonna work.
I like gallery department too.
Okay.
I didn't know that was a brother.
I didn't know that either.
Young brother too from
So
California.
let me ask you this, because I see you have a couple of things. How do you buy that stuff? I can't find the site. Is it really supposed to be hidden?
Well, what? Gallery department?
No, hidden. You have,
Oh, so
how do you buy that? I've been trying to buy it, and
every time that shit come up for sale, they
where are you buying it from?
their website, they announce and the shit sells out in like a few hours or
But
something
what
like
is
that.
the website? Because on the page, whatever, on the page, their Instagram page, it always goes to something saying website coming, like almost like a website.
They shut it
coming
down
soon.
when they don't have nothing there.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay.
And then they announce that they'll have a drop and then they'll have it up and then they sell however much they got and then they drop it down until they take it down until they put something else. But I love the quality of their shit. Like
Okay.
their sweatshirts, hoodies, and all of that. I'm over that.
That's crazy. That's the anti-capitalism business model.
Yeah.
You don't even like, you just shut it down.
They shut it down.
That's wild.
They got a certain
I love
amount.
it. I think it keeps things kind of exclusive.
Exactly.
Too.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's dope.
I got a gang of that stuff. But that's
Yeah, well, next time, listen, do I need to just give you some cash? Or
nah.
whatever, so
I'll let you know when they when it
I
drops.
just want like a sweatshirt. I trust your judgment.
Cause most
Give
of
me
the
a
stuff is
sweatshirt
just
or a
pretty
t-shirt.
plain. They just got the
Yeah.
hidden.
Yeah, but I like that.
And they just do
I like
different
it.
colors.
Yeah, I like the colors though too.
What else? That's really it. Rude. I like
JW Anderson, I've been on their kick too.
their how's their fabric on their stuff?
Good. This thing, I even messed up and put it in the wash the last time, and I was like, oh, okay, it's still doing fine. Didn't bleed or anything.
Wow.
I'm still not gonna play around, put it in the cleaners, but yeah. Now, I will say, their shoes, I have 2 pairs of their shoes, 3 pairs of their shoes. These are it. They're not the best quality, but I love the design. So this just happened after, it scrapes too fast. I'm like, it shouldn't be coming off. Like, I feel like it's just painted on. And then I have 2 pair of clogs and they squeak. I feel like
Yeah, shoes so sweet.
walking through the airport, and they're like I bought them to be my airport shoes. So you can have the cute little travel shoe that you can slide in, and they be like.
You know what I just bought? You ain't gonna know what it is. The Soleil Benberry Crocs.
Where'd you find them?
I bought them off of Goat.
Huh. You paid what? 2 times, 3 times over the asking price?
They wanted 5 for them.
Oh, that's not bad.
Nah, but that's too
For Crocs?
Time for Crocs, bro.
Yeah.
But so Soleil Benberry's a brother.
Yeah. He's
And-
go ahead.
No, you go.
He's an artist, and he started a line of his art. Yeah.
So he was the creative director for Versace. Young dude. Like Versace sneakers or menswear or something.
Mm-hmm.
He left, and then he been doing a bunch of collabs with a bunch of different people. He
Yeah.
did something with New Balance, and then he got like his own
I
line.
missed
like
that
she's
New
saying.
Balance. What
I
did
got,
you
I
get?
got, yeah.
Yeah.
I got the orange joints, but he teamed up with Crocs, bro. And he came out. He designed some Crocs.
I didn't even know that. I heard about it, but I didn't really see him.
They
No.
dope.
So we talking about the Crocs, like the,
So your
I
boy
hate
gonna be
Crocs,
rocking
too.
I
Crocs.
ain't even,
Listen,
but they
I hate
Crocs.
Crocs too.
they Soleil Benberry Crocs.
But they Crocs though.
How do you pronounce his name?
Soleil Benberry.
Salehi.
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 Salehi. Selehe.
Okay, so I kept it Salehi, like
Salehi.
E, not without the H. I made it salad. I always made it salad. I assumed it was Salehi
Benberry.
Bimber.
We talking about Crocs though, right? I mean the joints you should, and they got the
Yes.
holes in the front. The rubber joints.
Yeah.
That's what we talking about.
That's what I bought. And that's what I'm gonna spend the
How
majority.
dope can they be? I mean, what they just got
Listen.
art on them?
Huh?
Listen,
art on 'em?
do you remember
They look
when
like Crocs.
James would just wear the same flip flops?
I do remember that.
All day, every day.
Hey.
James would have on $1,000 all the way up the head with these brown ass flip flops, and he did not
Listen.
care and be yearned out.
I promise you that I started his shoe game
Nigga.
getting better.
No
In
way.
this current state.
That's not one.
I'm gonna tell you the moment. You were there that night. Remember that party that they had on 9th Street? It was at this little hole in the wall spot, hookah. You came in there. Kelly was spinning.
Yeah.
It was like a house.
It was like a
night.
house joint.
And I forgot who else was spinning.
Philippe the Haitian, and Paul Howard.
Paul Howard. You came in there. We were all sitting in like a booth. It's like a little restaurant,
Uh-huh.
and it was like a booth, and we were sitting. This was before COVID.
Okay.
He
Of
had
course,
on
because
some-
he's been having an expensive habit for a while now.
He had on some random Nikes, and we got at him so bad after. I don't know if you
kinda
left.
remember.
Right after that is when he started. I
But
promise
he's
you.
always known of things. Like me and him would ride the Neiman's and stuff. Like
That's cool. But
But
his
you
shoe
made
game-
him give up the flip flops.
So here's the thing. I am big on comfort. And there's something, so I will follow, my spirit will tell me like this, right? About a year ago, 2 years ago, something told me, roll up your right leg. I don't know what told me to do it.
I know who told you to do it.
I just did it.
T,
Who?
T, our boy.
Who's Tiggy?
What's up, boy? Oh my gosh. DJ, our boy. Come on, he's in the fam. Corey T.
Oh.
No, he
T
didn't.
showed it. I'm glad because
Wait
you
the
know
fuck
Corey
up.
T rolls
Hold
his
up.
shit up.
There's no way you think I'm taking fashion advice from Corey T.
Hands up, though.
You subconsciously.
No, he don't.
Yeah, he
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he did.
Yes, he does. He always
did.
has one pants leg rolled up.
Yes,
Yes, he does. Always. With his chucks, he's going to have on chucks, and one of the pants legs is going to be rolled
Don't
up.
tell me that.
That's clean.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Matter of fact, he just had a picture of him with it. I could probably find it. Yeah, it's okay. Corey T is great.
So this whole
He's
time, this
fam.
motherfucker think I've been copying him?
Yeah. Ooh,
Wow.
he went up on
Raleigh.
you. Yeah.
That's not
The
good.
homie, though.
That's fam.
But
I'm
he's
telling
not.
you, dog, that's how I know that he
Nah.
subconsciously
Nah.
reacted to what we were saying.
So don't get me wrong, Bo. So I was solid on the dress clothes game and on that side of the stuff. And the sneakers that I did have are like Prada and Kohan and Bally and all that old kind of shit. So I was into that, more that side of the sneakers
And he
and
just
dress
came out
shoes.
being a whole sneakerhead.
And so then I went to the left and I was like, and I sold all that shit because I was like, I ain't gonna be wearing none of that stuff no more. And that's when I started getting more into this. But I had joints. I just didn't have I wasn't being regular like you and the rest of the folks.
Wait a minute.
See what I'm saying?
Did you peep that shade?
That's
That
how-
was dirty.
See, that's how I know.
That was ugly.
Like you
That's
see,
how I
I wasn't
know.
being regular. I wasn't being regular.
See,
That's
this is
how I
it. When I
know.
go back to saying stewing and some shit, you just stewing this shit right now.
Going back to being
That's
regular.
how I know that I started all of this shit that you see. I started it.
Yeah.
Because he know that
Yeah.
that when I'm ready,
He
that I'm the father of
he
what he
opened
doing.
the closet with the guts in.
So listen, he wear Jordan mid. So
Ooh,
I like Jordan mids.
I hate mid.
thank you.
Come on, y'all. But how you gonna hate mids when Jordan made them?
Jordan didn't make them.
Of course he did.
Wasn't a mid when he was playing. Don't know Jordan count unless they was Jordans when he was playing. Everything else after that.
I never
But
seen
there
him.
wasn't no
That
lows.
nigga didn't wear no
There
mids.
wasn't no 11 lows when he was playing.
They did, but them came out after.
And so did the mids.
But you said Jordan made them. Jordan didn't make them.
The brand Jordan
I have
made
like
them.
2 pairs of mids, but-
She's a woman. She's supposed to wear mids.
Yeah, but I don't like them
Only
either.
women wear mids. I'm telling you, bro. It's science.
Let me see.
It's in the
stand up.
Bible.
Stand up real quick.
Wow.
Just stand up real quick.
Them are the blazer highs, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, man. It's
You
in the
too
Bible,
tall for
dog.
mids.
All I know is this.
Tell them what'd you say?
He's too tall.
I'm not gonna let no white boy sitting in his mama basement decide that I can't wear the Jordans that I like.
Ain't no
Well, y'all
white
know
boy.
that shit.
What about the black?
What about a black girl sitting across from you,
But
nigga?
see, but that's where you got it from, though.
I didn't get it from her.
No, you got it from somebody online saying you can't wear that.
Mids
No,
are slight.
I just don't like the way they look. It
Mids
just
are
looks
slight, bro.
weird. It's
Mids are
just
slight.
like-
If I can wear
It's
11,
like-
if you can wear 11 lows, I can wear mids.
I don't even like lows too much either. Like
I like
I don't
lows.
like
What size shoe you wear?
in women. 10 now. My foot grown.
In
Sneakers?
women?
Yeah. Sneakers 10.
I got you.
Ooh, what you got?
I bought a pair of shoes, nigga. I thought they was 10 men's and bought 10 women.
Give him here.
You probably still wear them. Are they women's shoes?
Yeah. But I bought, you know how to be having different colors and shit?
Yeah.
They're blazers. That
Ooh, I love it.
blazer lows, man. I wanted them joints bad and picked the, they was going through the thing and I was trying to order them too fast.
Yeah, I've done that.
So
I've done that. I got, matter of fact, I got a pair size 12 men's.
That's 10 and a half.
No, for men. They're men's size 12. I bought them for
Oh.
Joe, but I accidentally hit two of them.
That nigga wear 12?
Yes.
He got some boat feet.
Don't
He
do
ain't
that
that
to him.
tall.
Don't do that. Yes, he is. He's very tall, and his heart is
Stop
big.
lying.
Don't do that. I'm talking about mine.
Okay.
I'll
Man,
switch
his
up
heart
on
is
you.
big. Where'd that come from? That
He's
just
tall.
came up.
He's tall.
All right,
when
y'all.
he
We
stands
thank
on
y'all
his
for
heart.
joining because we talk about niggas' hearts.
Right. His heart is big.
Nah, yeah, he's 12, but I have they're all great Air Max. They're really nice.
Shout out to Joe, by the way.
Hi, Boo.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother,
I love you.
for loving sis,
Sure.
taking care of her,
sure.
keeping her on her toes,
Yeah.
and rooting for you, rooting for y'all.
Yep. Hey,
Whatever that mean.
I never really liked Air Maxes.
Which ones?
None of them. I never, even when they, like,
Even the 95s, bro? You tripping.
I never liked Air Max.
You know what I don't like?
I wasn't a big fan of the 90s.
I don't like Air Force Ones. I hate them.
They're horrible.
I ain't never liked. I would really.
I've never owned a pair.
Yeah,
I
no.
owned
Them
when
pair-
they
them
first
one-
came out.
It look like they smile.
They're like orthopedic
They
joints.
look like
they're
they
huge.
smile. I don't
Now
like
they're
it.
huge, but back in the day, them joints was just right. But now they're.
Nope, I ain't like them back in the day.
You ain't like the hot top ones with the strap on the back?
Fuck no.
I love
We
them.
ain't like those here.
The orange one? What?
We ain't
We
like those
started
here.
the Air Force ones with the strap on the back.
I ain't like that.
The orange ones? Remember the orange?
I don't like it.
DC love to say they started something.
We did,
Only thing
though.
y'all
I
motherfuckers
don't
started
think we
was
started
New
Air
Balance.
Force Ones.
We
don't
did start
believe
Air
it.
Force ones. I promise you we did. I promise
No.
you. We started
Oh, it's
sneaker
gonna be a
culture
whole
in
debate. You
general.
gonna get?
We started sneaker culture in general. That's a fact.
I can. That's a hard
You
one.
wearing sneakers growing up? No.
Yeah.
No. But you wore your matching them with your outfits up. No. We was doing that. We were doing that when I would go places and have fly sneakers that match or fly tennis shoes that match my outfit,
Yeah,
people would be like, "What the hell are you doing?"
How you pronounce them? Sauconys. That was our
Sauconys,
thing.
yeah.
The Sauconys.
Y'all saw motherfuckers from New York doing it, and y'all wanted to do it.
No, we were doing
They
that.
still don't wear Sauconys. They still don't wear Tigers like we used to wear.
Yeah.
Remember
I'll
Tigers
give
all
us
the
that.
time?
Yep. And
Diodoras?
Diodoras, and a lot of
We
us
was
had
wearing
the
that
match.
shit.
They wasn't wearing no Diodoras.
We were too, bro.
Not back in the day.
Yes, I had a pair. I had a pair in middle school.
You had the cream fila.
I had Diodora. We didn't have Sauconys though. We had Diodoras. We had Filas.
The Tigers.
We didn't wear the shoes. We wore Asics.
New Balance.
Yeah.
We did not wear no motherfucking New Balance.
We started wearing.
We
New
thought
Balance.
white people wore them joints.
We started wearing, which was started a sneaker culture in general.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Barclays.
So we probably should rap.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Me too.
Kenny,
Yes.
how you feel about not that nigga? Jeez,
He's
we
that
gotta be
nigga.
specific.
He's that guy. Know this.
Oh,
How I feel about the podcast and that guy, I love it.
okay. All right.
Is that fair enough?
Perfect.
I had a great time.
Yeah, we love you being here. The energy was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hopefully I shed some light with some people, and people will be brave to share their story and understand that, you ain't gotta be a victim and you ain't got to stay in that place. It's not easy, but you can climb your way out, and also, man, understand that, listen, we out here just trying to thrive. We ain't trying to be suffering and be in no relationship no more. Understand this. So know that and act accordingly. Women are not suffering for relationships anymore. Take with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Shit, I heard it. You hear it?
I heard it, bro.
Yeah, we ain't grandma.
All right. Shout out to grandmas.
What was the
Grandmas held it together though. Don't
They did. They did. So no disrespect to grandma.
Nah, keep that energy. Keep that energy.
Grandmas with
Grandma's hands wasn't shit.
No, we're not saying that. What we're saying we're not grandma's goals is because there was a place that the grandma had to, so we appreciate that. You couldn't even get a credit card in your name as a woman without a husband. You couldn't even get a house by yourself.
I miss those
grandma
days.
You said you miss those days. I'm quite sure you do. So shout out to grandma for enduring that, because they had to for their kids, but now we don't have to.
Again, I agree with you 100%, but there's a level of strength that existed in them black women.
It is.
That is the foundation for for everything that we how
it
we
is
move
a
that.
level of strength that needs
All
to
the
be
flavor
respected.
that black women bring.
And I'm okay saying
is
that
from
I'm
that.
not strong enough to sit there. I'm strong. My level, I want to be comfortable in life. I'm okay. I'm okay with that. If that means I'm not as strong, I know I'm nowhere near as strong as my grandmother. Miss Louise, honey, you met her.
Y'all got different types of strengths.
Yeah.
I don't want to take away from hers, and I don't want to take, and we don't have to take away from hers to appreciate yours, because y'all dealing with different things, y'all dealing with different times, and at the end of the day, y'all made it through, and I think that's the beautiful thing about it, and y'all did it with grace, y'all did it with love in y'all heart, and if you can make it to the other side with that, I think that's a beautiful thing.
Shout out to Louise too, because she loves herself some you.
Love her, man. Beautiful. She get around, I don't know, she get around like, no, man, I don't mean like that.
Like that.
No, she get around
She's young,
physically,
sturdy.
like,
Yeah.
it's like she's,
Yeah.
These kind of relationships that get disturbed when we don't take the time to know what it is to sing, to know how to get close to the mic again, or to get something. Singing doesn't make it happen, or maybe you're a keyboardist and you know enough about